Warning. This Let's Play may contain discussions including, but not limited to, sexual references, drug use, and violence. It will certainly contain vulgar language and radical lunatic left-wing discussions. It is not intended for younger audiences. Okay, welcome back everybody. This is Storm, the Game Design Lexicon. I barely caught that in time. I had to go hit the bathroom and wash out my coffee cup. We are playing Cultist Simulator for the PC Windows platform, and we're talking about games of yore. Starting off with Wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord. Talk about a hard goddamn game. So, Wizardry, Bard's Tale, the Ultima games, that was all second-generation RPGs for me. I had been playing RPGs long before those games came out. I started off with games like Rogue, Telengard, what's another one? Did you ever play the Temple of Apshai series? Yeah, dude. Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord is probably the hardest one. And if anyone's ever... Because you think, well, I'm going to play the Wizardry games. Where do I start? Well, I'll start with the first one. Don't fucking start with the first one. You will discourage yourself so bad if you start off with the first one. It is so goddamn hard. So yeah, no, those were all like second-generation RPGs for me. I remember Ultima 2 when it came out, because it was ported to the Commodore 64. And that was probably my beginning of second-generation RPGs. By the time I had gotten to Ultima 2, I had already been cutting my teeth on the Temple of Apshai series, Telengard, Rogue. Me and my friends played the living shit out of those games in the early 80s. As well as the Intellivision Dungeons & Dragons action game. That was always a big one of ours, too. So, yeah, man. Ooh, Wizardry, dude. I love Wizardry 7. Oh my god, dude. Is it 7? It's either 7 or 8. No, it has to be 8. 8 was the first 3D one, right? Dude, Wizardry 8 was so awesome. And I like how eventually they started incorporating sci-fi elements into them. So badass, dude. But yeah, if you start on the Wizardry games, I would suggest anyone that decides to get into them, start on 2. Start on the second one. Second one isn't much easier than the first one, but it is a lot easier. Playing Wizardry 8 on Steam Deck. Ooh, nice. It's mouse triggered, or it's mouse driven, isn't it? It's been so long since I've played it. I had a proper patch for it to get it to work on updated systems, but I decided I probably wasn't going to touch it again until somebody tried to make an engine rebuild like they did for like Morrowind, Daggerfall, stuff like that. But that's awesome, being able to play a game like that on Steam Deck. That would be really cool. Shit, what was I doing? We had more books to buy. We had a boss to kill, because we're done with any of... yeah, let's do a book here. We have plenty of money. Set up touchpad shortcuts. Touchpad shortcuts, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever done that with a game before. Yeah, definitely a disadvantage when games hit mouse-driven and they didn't think enough. They were thinking that they were so excited to make a mouse-driven game that they didn't make accommodations to make it keyboard. You can just play it with touchpad controls. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, you're right. I keep forgetting that the Steam Deck has one of those little touchpad thingies on it. I have a Steam controller, though I never use it. Shit, I got the Steam controller for like $3, as well as a Steam Link. So I have a Steam Link and a Steam controller. I got both of them when they end-of-lifed them for a couple bucks each. It's a really, really good deal. Okay. So we now have white door. Let's go ahead and start getting our next level of furtive truths, that is. Even though we only have 3 of the first level stuff just yet. Do we have nothing left to study? We're gonna have to start to... Oh, we need to start working on... I'm gonna need to finish books for that. Okay, yeah, our study's gonna be idle for us for a while. Until we finalize our books. Damn, I can't believe we're still finding followers. Let's keep that going. Okay, another language. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking at first, and then I thought, no. When you said you can just play it with the touchpad, I was just thinking, or touchpad controls, I thought you were meaning that with like a Steam controller kind of thing, which I guess emulates a mouse. But I guess that's not what you meant. Okay. That's another poetry book? Oh, we'll need that eventually. As a matter of fact, I'll need it pretty soon. What was that? Oh, exotic cravings. It's funny that, so when I first started playing this game, I didn't really notice that there were sound cues in it. And now, after a while, I'm, like, trained to them. Once I hear certain sounds, I'm like, oh shit, what happened? Something bad just happened. Okay, level 3. That's nice. Let's go ahead and keep that going. Yeah, that's interesting. That's like using auto hotkey or something for it. Auto hotkey will do stuff like that. It will click on regions of the screen for you, which is kind of cool. There's one that I used to use that was different, that was made for Linux, that I used a lot of back when I was using Linux constantly. Okay, we need to make an assassination attempt. I need more money. I'm not getting enough money. What the fuck did we just get? Nothing? Okay, fine. Screw it. Let us look for a thug. Yeah, I'll take that. We need 6 of those, I believe. One of them, I think the next one, level 6, we need 7 of those. Yeah, that's really neat. Honestly, that's a little too fidgety for me, but I definitely appreciate the effort for sure. I've just always been a mouse and keyboard person. I mean, I've had consoles, but not a lot of them most of my life. I've always been a PC person. It isn't until recently I've really been appreciating console games, but I've had minimal amounts of consoles. Like, I had an NES when it came out. I bought an NES so I could have something to play while I waited for games to download for my Commodore 64. Had an SNES, had a Nintendo 64, for a short amount of time anyway. Then after the Nintendo 64, I went from that to a Dreamcast, because I bought Dreamcast when it was end of life, and I was familiar with all the mods and stuff for it. And then Dreamcast to Nintendo Wii in 2006. I actually bought that the year it came out. And I haven't had a console since, honestly. And everything that I do here on the channel is all emulated, so... unless I had a Wii... if I had a Wii, I'd probably do that, because, you know, the motion controls and everything. And there's a lot of those games I wouldn't mind playing. I am not going to exercise that peculiar rumor. Dude. Well, I can still play online with Flycast. Just only certain servers, right? I mean, certain games, that is. We were talking about Phantasy Star Online. They still have an online server for it, which is kind of boss. Definitely going to take a look at that whenever I can, because I'd love to play me some... Dude, I played the living shit out of Dreamcast Phantasy Star Online when I had it. Why is all my health fatigued? 55, 59. Let's get that in the dream state there. Let's get these out of the way. I'm going to need to sell those. I just don't want to sell them just yet. Okay, search for another assassin. What do we got? Moth level 3. Dude, I'd really wish I could get the Edge level 5 guy. Yeah, let's do it. What the hell? Probably end up having to wait for some friggin' shit to go away again. Okay, fine. I'll do it. 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 Okay. Let's see. Let's wait. What is in the dreaming? Oh, our wound. That's right. Or our illness. Okay, let's go ahead and end our job here. Yeah, and I mean, most of the stuff I can play on Flycast. I think for another one, I had to do a different emulator. What the hell was that again? Sega Dreamcast emulator. What did I have here? I could have swore I installed a different Dreamcast emulator because I wanted one where I could use microphone emulation so I could play Seaman. But I never... no, it was a Dreamcast emulator. I have a Saturn emulator too. What do I use for Saturn? I think I use RetroArch for Saturn because I don't have a dedicated emulator for it yet. So RetroArch, I try and stay away from RetroArch when I can. Yeah, RetroArch is all I have for Saturn. And I do have a decent Saturn collection, too. So, I love Saturn games. Those are awesome. Okay, so we got our shifty woman. We're just waiting for our job to end. We can also do some more dancing around in the Mansus. One of the main reasons why I don't like RetroArch is certain consoles, especially the PSP, the way it handles the saves for it, I've been known to lose my save games on them. Like, I had started a playthrough of one of my favorite PSP games, which is I have it on my playing list. So it's a game called ZHP Unlosing Ranger versus Dark Death Evil Man. It's a roguelike done by Nippon Ichi Software. It's part of the Disgaea series. It's like a Disgaea Gaiden game, so offshoot of the Disgaea series. And I got, I don't know, probably a small way into it. And then one day when I was going to stream it, I lost my fucking save game on it. RetroArch just kind of fucked it off. And I had to, you know, and I am very adept with RetroArch. I know where it puts most of its files. I know where I can search for that stuff, and I could not fucking find it anywhere. It just up and disappeared. So since then, I no longer use RetroArch for PSP stuff, and if at all possible, try not to use it for other games. And I do have stand-in emulators for several of them, so I can move away from it. Because the launcher program that I use, it downloads and installs RetroArch by default. But I have several emulators that are that I have installed beside it. Like, I have XEMU for Xbox stuff. I have SNEX 9X for SNES stuff. PSSP or PPSSPP for PSP stuff. PCSX2 for PS2 stuff. Messen's SNES stuff, right? Kega Fusion. What is Kega Fusion for? I can't remember what that one was for. I haven't used it in a while. Of course, GTX Vice for the Commodore 64 stuff, because using RetroArch for Commodore 64 stuff is stupid. Flycast for Sega Dreamcast stuff. Dolphin for Wii and GameCube stuff. And then BizHawk for random other stuff. I use the... I love doing the task stuff on BizHawk, so that's fun. Anyway. Oh, yeah! So that Kega Fusion was what I downloaded to do the Seaman stuff, because it supposedly was one of the only emulators that boasted being able to emulate the microphone. There we go. That's probably why it's there and I'm not familiar with it, is because I probably only used it because I prefer Flycast. Flycast is awesome. And I probably only used it to try and play Seaman. Yeah, I had a desire to play it at one point in time because I was watching... I was revisiting a show from my youth called In Search Of, which is a late 70s, early 80s TV show that highlighted, like, weird mystical shit like Bigfoot and fucking life after death and all sorts of just weird kind of mystical crap. And it had Leonard Nimoy narrating it, right? So because Leonard Nimoy was narrating it, it gave me nostalgia for Seaman, and I wanted to try and play it. Gens and Gens Plus? What is Gens and Gens Plus? Are you talking about, like, Genesis? Sorry, not familiar with the term. Okay, let us try and assassinate our boss again. Surprised we've actually taken this long to do this. Okay, what do we need here? Still searching for books. So let's do that. We need books and locations. Genesis. 32X. 32X I'm probably still using RetroArch. Or at least one of the embedded at RetroArch emulators. I know RetroArch is just a front end for them. Let's see. So, currently RetroArch is handling... Let's see, associated platforms. RetroArch is currently handling my 3DO, Atari 26... All my Atari stuff. Jaguar 2600. Handling my ColecoVision stuff. Mattel, all my MSX stuffs, all my PCFX stuff, TurboGrafx and whatnot. Currently handling all my Nintendo 64 stuff, and these are just because I have yet to install external emulators for them, which I should. Like, I eventually plan on playing J2 for the Nintendo 64, and when I do that, I don't want to do it in RetroArch. I really should turn around and install an emulator for everything that I'm playing that is currently using RetroArch. I do have a Sega 32 emulator. Pico Drive is the embedded one in RetroArch. Genesis Plus GX. And these are all embedded in RetroArch. All right. Let's see. Genesis, Master System, Saturn, Sega SG-100, and the Sharp X1, all handled by RetroArch. Yeah, all these I need to... And I'm currently playing PlayStation stuff on RetroArch, which sucks, because I'm doing Chocobo's Dungeon 2 in that, and RetroArch makes me uncomfortable. Ever since I lost my save game in that one game, I am always uncomfortable when I'm in RetroArch. BizHawk's awesome, and I have it installed. BizHawk is neat for certain applications, but I'd rather use like the standard emulators for those games than use BizHawk if I don't have to. Like SNEX 9X has way more accommodations in it than BizHawk has. So, just a preference, I guess. Okay, what were we doing? We're trying to kill our boss. Looks like we have some despair building. Bonk? Nope. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's leave Dream open to Maybe get rid of that despair. We have bleak thoughts. Oh, nice. Another book. Latin. Okay, let's get that going. Yeah, dude, BizHawk is really awesome. I have it installed. Or are you... wait a second. BizHawk or BlitzHawk? If it's BizHawk, I'm familiar with it, and I have BizHawk installed. BlitzHawk, on the other hand, I don't know what that is. I'm guessing it has something to do with BizHawk. Oh, BizHawk, yeah. So I have BizHawk installed. I just don't have it. I don't have it configured for certain emulators, even though I have everything I need to configure it for. I think the only thing that I've been using it on is I've been using TAS with NES games and SNES games. So I love the TAS stuff. The TAS stuff is great. It's like one of my favorite things to do on emulators now, when I have the time and the brain power to do it. Anything? No. Come on. Oh, got notoriety. My minion has returned. The annoyance has proven... Oh, god damn it. I friggin' hate that minion. I should have waited till the level 5 blade. Screw it. Who cares? Do you have Descent for 1? Descent 1 for PS1? I don't know. Let me double check. So, currently have Descent for... I do have the PS1 Descent. And of course I have all the DOSBox related ones too. I have Descent 1, Descent 2, Descent 2 plus the Vertigo. I even have Descent Maximum for the PS1. What else do I have? Descent Anniversary Edition. That's for MS-DOS. I even have Descent to Undermountain, if you dig that piece of shit game. Descent emulator for... Oh, no, I don't. I need to get a PS1 emulator, and before I do that, I'll need to do research on it to figure out which one I'm going to want the most, because I get really picky about the features on my emulators. Heard being a morning person makes you a bootlicker. You have taken so much joy out of being a slave to the machine that you have rewritten your circadian rhythm around employment. There is nothing good to do in the morning except work night. Night is fun. Afternoon is fun. 6 a.m. breakfast is torture. So X-Band, one of my favorite authors, Robert A. Heinlein, who has some problematic things about him. But one of the things that he said that always has rung true to me and has made me feel more comfortable with myself, because, you know, everybody's always been like that my entire life. You know, you gotta wake up early. Early bird gets the worm. Early bird gets the worm. Well, thinking that you are going to get more time in your schedule by waking up early is the same kind of thinking that you're going to make a rope longer by cutting off one end of it and taping it to the other end. It doesn't fucking do anything. So that's my thought on being a morning person. I can't survive in the mornings. I've never been able to survive in the mornings. It's always been more strenuous than trying to survive in a normal time, right? Okay, well, I guess trying to kill my boss failed again. God damn it. So let's get some recruits going. Get another book going. Yeah, Robert Heinlein, like I said, there's a lot of things about the dude that's problematic. I mean, he's a libertarian and has a lot of questionable attitudes towards things like incest and other stuff. that's just generally problematic. I mean, Stranger in a Strange Land being one of his most popular popular books is essentially a book about a sex cult. But that guy shaped a lot of my early philosophy in life. Not gonna lie. I started reading his shit when I was like 19, so, which is unusual for me because I didn't read a lot when I was in school. But after I got out of school, I read a ton. Mainly because all the stuff that they'd let you read in school, or all the stuff that you were exposed in school, I either had no interest in or was really difficult to get in for an ADHD person. Like the stuff that I had had access to that I would have been interested in, like I tried to read a lot of H.G. Wells. But having ADHD and trying to read somebody's stuff that was written in another century is just difficult. Like one of my favorite authors to date is Sam Clements. I love his stuff. But again, reading somebody who wrote in a different century is difficult because the speech patterns were a lot different, and it just makes it harder to comprehend. Have spacesuit will travel. Nice. My first exposure to Robert Heinlein was To Sail Beyond the Sunset, which was one of the Lazarus Long books about Lazarus Long's mother. Really awesome. Had a lot of again, that book basically drew me into Heinlein and turned me into one of his, big. He's literally my favorite author. I have most, if not all, of his books in hardback, mainly first editions, because he's by far my favorite author. Which is really funny because even though he's my favorite author, it doesn't mean he's written my favorite book. My favorite book was actually written by an author, Clive Barker. You're probably familiar with his horror movies. He wrote a book called Imagica, which is by far my favorite book. Heinlein also didn't write my favorite series of books, which of course is the Dune series by Herbert. Again, I have all first pressing originals, hardbacks, clothbacks on them. Space Cadet, that's a really good one too. Both Have Spacesuit and Will Travel, Have Spacesuit Will Travel and Space Cadet were all his earlier works back when he was writing young adult science fiction, which all that stuff is really good. One of my favorites of him is Podkane from Mars. Was really good, and oh shit, what was the other one? It's been a while. Yeah, his young adult stuff was really awesome. I mean, obviously, since that got him famous, right? Do I have anything to do with my study? I guess I can start working with aspects. I do want to make sure that I get done with all my books before I do that, because it makes it really difficult when I start pushing everything in a direction and I get a new one that I have to fuck everything up for. So let's wait on that. Tentative evidence. So it's going to be another 5 minutes. Or wait a second, that's more than 5 minutes, right? 300 seconds is 5 minutes. So that's 10 minutes on tentative evidence. Suck. Let us work with Mantis. Oh yeah, I read the dude Piers Anthony. Piers Anthony actually wrote my second favorite series of novels, right after the Dune series. He wrote the Incarnations of Immortality series, which is by far my favorite book series ever. Our second favorite book series ever, right behind Dune. Incarnations, and of course, I didn't originally start reading Piers Anthony for those books. I originally started reading Piers Anthony because of the Xanth novels, which were really big in the D&D community that I hung out in. So I was introduced to Piers Anthony because of the Xanth novels, and then once I started getting tired of the Xanth novels, I didn't finish the Xanth novels because there's a billion of them. I got kind of tired of them, and I looked to see what else he had written, and ended up reading the Incarnations of Immortality series. They're fucking excellent. Oh, the Fates ones. Yeah, my favorite one was the one about Satan. Satan was by far the best one. And if anybody's watching this and wondering what the hell we're talking about, the Incarnations of Immortality series by Piers Anthony was a series of books set in a fictional world that mixed both technology and magic. And they had kind of like Judeo-Christian and Western mythology that was incarnated. So there was actually a death. There was actually a Gaia, nature. There was fates, which was separated into the three Greek fates, which was Atropos, Clotho, and Atropos, and God damn it, I can't remember the third one. Anyway, and then there was God and Satan, and they were constantly battling each other. Dude, Kronos was a good Lachesis, that's right. Kronos pretty much cinched me. Dude, Death got me interested. Kronos cinched me on the series, and that got me to continue it all the way until the end, by far. Where the hell are we on this? Oh yeah, we have 2 more blocks at least. So this is Tharm with the Game Design Lexicon. We are playing Cultist Simulator for the PC Windows platform. If you like our content here, make sure you give us a follow on Twitch, where we do stream currently Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, noon p.m. till 4 p.m. Central Time. Sometimes off schedule, but not always. GMT -6. If you can't catch us live in front of a studio audience, by all means, catch us over on the YouTubes. Just subscribe and hit the alert button to know we're coming out with new videos. You can also catch our social media platforms. We're on Blue Sky, Reddit, and Discord. You can catch us on those platforms too. Those are all in our abouts on both platforms. Try and keep that stuff updated. Anyway, I'm going to take a short music break, and I will be back with at least 2 more blocks of Cultist Simulator.